Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Community for All of Us. I am your host, Derek. Tonight, I am going to be doing this solo, so I have no help at all. No, I'm picking, just joking. Um, Nikki will be here soon. Our good friend Harold is also a co-host. Is not able to make it here tonight to hang out with us, but like I've always said, family, health, and God always come first before the show. So we are going to be doing a show tonight that I'm very excited about. We're going to be talking about different toy companies, more like I would say independent toy companies and what's coming out. And we're going to take a look at it. And apparently, your boy here has now been able to make thumbnails. So you'll be starting to see thumbnails on all of the shows from here on out. I'm pretty excited about this. I want to make sure that everybody is ready. I got my good old phone pulled up and make sure I can see everybody's comments as we're doing this show tonight. So, as you see the image here, that community for all of us, if you would like to be a guest on the show, please like, share, or just comment. Let me know. Reach out to me at autocritprimer@gmail.com or through Facebook with Nikki Lynn Stegall Davis. Reach out to her. There's also a Community for All of Us page on Facebook with her that's been there for years. So if you want to, please come and join us. And if you'd like to be a guest, we'd love to have you. So as we are getting ready to get this show going, I'm now going to see if my other co host is ready. So I'm going to see if she'll give me a thumbs up backstage if she's ready. And here we go. Welcome, little girl. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. We had a
Oh,
good nap today.
oh my gosh, did we not have a good night nap today? I mean, we sat here. We said, hey, you know what? We're going to take a little bit of a nap. And for some reason, um, we sat there and not only took the nap, but we slept and forgot to cut our alarm on, or the alarm didn't go off. I don't know which one it was,
I don't know which one it was either.
but boy, we had a really good nap. So I was pretty excited about that and having that nice little rest. I needed it.
Shoot, I
The
can
night,
keep sleeping.
oh, I know, right? And that's probably what we do tonight.
It could be allergies.
Mine's been horrible. My allergies have been horrible. Um, One thing I will say is that, like the night before, I didn't get any sleep at all. I was up all night, um, and I just didn't feel good. And I've been having issues. Those of you who don't know, I do have issues with my heart, and so I was not feeling the best in the world. It had started on Sunday night, and it just progressed till all day yesterday. I hadn't even it's been so bad I hadn't even felt like playing on my arc raiders. So yeah, I got a doctor's appointment already scheduled for tomorrow. So we're gonna go see my doctor, see what's going on. Make sure there's nothing crazy compilations, right, baby girl?
Right.
So what do you want to share before we get fully started? As I'm sitting here I'm sharing this on different platforms. I just shared it on X. I
Yeah.
just shared it on Facebook. I think I did. I'll share it to you and you share it to Facebook. Oh no, I just hit this. I'm sharing on Facebook right now. Ha 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 ha.
Did you do Instagram?
No, I'm not done Instagram. Let's see. Come join us live.
I love it when I go to look up autocorrect primer.
Yeah.
It sometimes gives me makeup tutorials.
Are you kid? Are you serious? That's
No,
funny.
because a primer is like the stuff you put on your face to
Oh, I know.
prime it, and then you put your makeup on and stuff. So I think that's
Oh,
funny.
I'm on prime time. So, but yeah, tonight we're gonna be talking about different shows and toys. So What that we sorry about missing last week. Again, I've been having, like I said, having some medical issues, and so I was not able to do last week's show.
Mm.
And I'm trying to work it out where if that happens, maybe Nikki or Harold will be able to carry the show over while I'm getting, or hopefully feeling, if I'm down like that, that somebody else could do the show other than me putting it all together and doing that. So um can't remember what I was going to say next. We got a new toy. It's, I guess you could call it a toy. We haven't had a chance to play it yet. I'm gonna take away the screen here. I think y'all have seen that enough, and that's the thumbnail. So we got us a cool little game, and that's kind of what got us where we're thinking about what to show tonight, because we ordered, my screen bigger. We got this game, which is a board.
Dawn of War Onslaught.
So, and so
You gotta put some emphasis on it.
got to put some emphasis on it, she says. So here's the
We
game.
finally got the coffee table cleaned off so we can play it.
Yeah.
And Derek get all the figures put together. We didn't paint them because you don't have to.
I'm going to, though.
Eventually, we're going to play it before you paint them, though. That's what I'm saying.
It says you don't have to glue these guys. That's
But
what
he
it
did.
says. You don't have to, but I learned that they don't stay together that securely if you don't. But so I actually went back and glued these guys together. I gotta tell you though, it was the easiest Warhammer figures I've ever put together, and trust me, I put together hundreds of figures. So they're gotta be just a little careful. They got little small pieces that you don't want to get broke. But yeah, it's a really cool concept, and we are going to be doing the game and playing it live and share it with y'all. You want to add anything before to this, Sweet Pea?
I am sending a link for our show on my X2.
So here is Dawn of War. So we are going to be playing this. We will be doing that live. You'll get to see us play this game live. So that should be a lot of fun and really interesting. The cats have been very, very interested to find out what's in that box, especially Cringer, our curious but loving cat. He is so much always loving to go and see what he can find out and do and snap into. So with that, I think I have the comments pulled up, so I'll be able to see y'all's comments tonight. So everyone is welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So tonight, let's get this show on the road. So, wrong thing. So, as we're talking about, look, the cat's not in the lamp, Nikki. Hey, look,
Oh
look
my
behind me.
gosh.
The cat not in the
I
lamp.
saw.
So I do have a question though, Nikki. What in your eyes makes a independent toy company? What make okay, let me rephrase that.
I have some ideas.
All right, go ahead. You start sharing. I can't wait to be able to get into my studio room. They're gonna love the backdrop and everything that we've got set up and Nikki's worked on. But
yeah, I've been working on the book a lot and it's coming along very good. And we decided that was need to be worked on instead of like his room at this moment. So I'm trying to get a lot done on the book. But the
Nikki
room's
does a
gonna
lot.
look really nice.
Yeah, and Nikki's
Especially
also
with Derek's heart
my help.
issue. It keeps him from bending over and lifting heavy things, which is exactly what you need when you're trying to rearrange your room. So between I'm trying to get the book done and then I'm doing little stuff in there as I can. I have a lifting restriction too, so I'll like move a couple of things and go sit down. And then when Derek can help me move big stuff, then I call him in and see if he's able to do that. So it's going to take a little bit, but you're asking me about what makes an independent toy company. I think that really and truly, if your stuff is not going on the shelves of a major retailer, you're more so independent. That's a very hazy term. Um,
Let's do it this way. Would you say that okay, let's compare Mattel, Hasbro, and Playmate, that would not be independent toy companies. They would be
I would not
considered
think that was.
all right. So what about if you compared Super 7, Ballerverse, the Four Horsemen, um, Savage Crucible, um, Spiro, Animal Kingdom,
I
would
think
would Super 7 be considered an independent
that's a
or
good question because
compared to those other ones?
a lot of their stuff is going on to big retailers. But I believe it has something to do with probably how long they've been around a little bit. Um, who makes their decisions for the company? Because, like, if it's like them and like their friends making decisions, I believe that's still independent. But if it's like
So,
a
like with Valorverse, with Bobby being he is the face of the company. He
and he
is
makes
the
the
company.
decisions. Mm-hmm.
He makes all the decisions. But he produces a top quality. When for people to know who Valorverse is, I actually have that set up. So let me pull that up while we're actually going and talking about his company. Here
I
we
would
go.
have to. I wasn't expecting that piece of information or that question to come up tonight. Otherwise, I would have done a little bit more digging. Um, but
I'm
I
sorry
think
about that line at the top. I don't know why that image and all the images I have tonight will be showing that. That drives me crazy. I don't know why that's doing that, but I'll hopefully have it figured out by the next time we do the show. But here's Valorverse. Now this should help out a little bit. So we know that Bobby Vala is the owner, creator. These properties are his and his alone. Um, would you consider his company being an independent company?
I would.
Okay. All right.
Because I know a little bit more about his company. I know that he's making most of the decisions himself. Um, he has a website, and you can get Vala verse figures from different other smaller toy online stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I could go to Big Bad Toy Store, or I could go
Which I'm getting ready to
to
pull up. So I'm glad you
um,
said that. Go ahead.
or people he's talked to about carrying his product. Now I wonder, like, when people buy his product on these store lines, do they give that company the money and the money purchase it from Bobby? Or do they go ahead and purchase a certain number of toys from Bobby to be in like their warehouse, and then they buy them from, like, let's say Big Bad Toy Store, and it comes from their warehouse? How does that work? Do you know?
I actually had him answer that exact question for
No,
me.
really? That's
Yes.
cool.
Oh, you will not believe what's out.
Are you
The
pulling up a
Black
website?
Series out. I'm going to go to his website. I'm going to pull that up so people can see, so I can remove this. I actually had him answer that question for me in one of the I can't I hate that I
It's
cannot get
called 3POA podcast.
thank you. My wife saves my ass
I don't know
so
what
many
the
times.
letters POA mean, but at first I thought it was POS, like piece of crap, but the other word, you know what I'm saying? And then my brain was able to switch the S to an A to get it right, because I looked up his podcast the other day, and I was able to get it correctly in my head. And I still may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 3POA is the name of the podcast. I'll
And
look
I
it up.
definitely want to buy one of their shirts. I definitely want to buy Bobby's got a new hoodie that I really want to buy. That I probably will buy when we get paid. But here we go, because we're both disabled, so our finances is limited. So one thing that came into the thing when we started to branch away. I'm a huge Hasbro loyalist at one time in my life. I bought nothing that wasn't Hasbro. GI Joe, Transformers, 100% Hasbro. Would never ever have bought third party. Never looked at independent companies like Valorverse. Nikki wanted to do something different with the channel and a different thing with my reviews, because she's like, you have, in my eyes, you beat the horse to death doing another Optimus Prime, another Starscream, another Megatron, another Bumblebee, even though we love Transformers. And we kind of moved away from buying Transformers that transforms to buying Blokies only. I didn't realize that Nikki now has those 100 independent Loki toys that she has just gone ape crap over. But Nikki was the one that knew I was upset that I did not like the quality that GI Joe was going down. I did not like the fact that their guns are so rubbery, and we live in the South, and if it gets hot, the guns were literally bending and becoming like a bow, and it was like I was so upset because they just didn't look good holding a gun that if they pull the trigger, it's going to turn back and kill them. So Nikki had done some research, and what was it that led you to buying me? Because Nikki bought me a crap load of Valorverse figures, to the point now that we have a figure from Wave 1. Nikki even got me the 100th figure, which is, I think his name is Bone Crusher, if I remember correctly. Got that character for me, the 100th, and it's still, that one's still in the box. All my other ones are out. What was it that made you go, okay, I want to check out this company here, because my husband loves GI Joe, and I know you because you were the one that told me he worked for Hasbro. He helped was one of the designers for Hasbro, and he broke away and he bought Action Force licensing from Hasbro because they weren't going to do anything with it. Am I on the right path?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
what made it where
well, you really
you're like,
wanted. You looked at Transformers, and you kind of had all the ones that they had right then, and you like collecting, and um, most people would think that it's a little out of control, but then there's people that spend money on food, and then there's people that spend money on going on trips. So it's nothing outside the realm of something like that, you know. So
it's better than buying
and
alcohol and drugs.
yeah, well, I don't know. This might be your drug.
Oh, my plastic crack.
Yeah. And so I knew that you had been disappointed with the GI Joes. The plastic was not very um the plastic wasn't holding up to heat. It wasn't holding up to even like coming in. There's parts that were broken. There's parts that like should fit into grooves that were created, but they didn't fit, like knives into sheets, and like just details that really shouldn't have been overlooked. And you're frustrated with it. You wanted certain characters, but those characters were not living up to expectations. And so I was looking somewhere and I happened to see G.I. Joe like characters. And I looked into it and I sent you a link. So I didn't necessarily do the investigation to start with, but I found them and I sent you the link. And then you started looking at it. And then I looked at it and we saw that we wanted to take a chance on it. So I think we bought 2 figures. It was last year, I think. Probably around the same time, like April, May. And we bought
No,
like a
you bought the
figure.
vehicle. You got me the vehicle. I mean, I had ordered 2 figures.
Yes.
I ordered, and the 2 that I ordered, I my brain
Well,
cannot
see,
get.
that's what I just said, but you said that I did.
I am so sorry. I was pulling something else up. I misheard. Sorry about
I
that. Go ahead.
said that we ordered a figure or two. We picked out one that I
Yes.
thought looked good and one that you, and then because we wanted to see the quality before investing money, and so then we got them in,
Oh,
and
and you
we
also bought the Animal Kingdom because we got 2 of those in too, right? And we
I
got 2
don't
4 Horsemen.
remember what came first though. I thought we were just talking about Action Force though.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. We are. I got
But
again.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We were looking at different types from different companies, and I'm not sure who we found first or what came in first. But I'm just going to exclusively talk about Valaverse figures. And so we got 1 or 2 of them in, and we liked the quality. That's what we were checking on, and things fit. They had extra things that we wouldn't think of. Um, it was very, it was thoughtful the way that they were put together and the um, things that were included, and we really liked it. And so for our anniversary, I went through and I bought like a crap ton of them, a whole box. It's on our. We'll try to link it underneath. We bought a whole box for our anniversary, which is in June. And I mean, we bought a whole bunch of stuff, and they were all really nice. Like a lot of times, you're going to get duds. These didn't have duds. They were all really nice, and so we just continued to add to what we had, and we
I
did
wanna
buy our first vehicle. Really, like we hadn't bought any other vehicles this size, but we were like we liked Faliverse enough to want to invest into a vehicle to go with our figures, and that's really nice. I was really impressed with the vehicle that came in. There's been a lot of hoopla about it doesn't feel like a military vehicle or whatever, but if you're working with an independent company, and I'm not saying or like even Valorverse is like espionage and military force. Like you're not working with the government, you know. So you're going to take vehicles that are already there and you're going to um, add things on it to make it useful what you need it to be. So it's not going to be a military vehicle. And I think that's what some people had trouble with that vehicle for. I can't remember the name of the vehicle. Do you remember the name?
Vanguard.
That's right, the Vanguard. And so, I like it. I liked it a lot. So we just kept buying figures from there. Um,
Now, I did
Go
wanna
ahead.
add something. One thing that stood out to me is there was one of the figures that when we had bought, the bulk, one of the figures was packaged separately, and in it, it had an extra hip for the hips and the legs, and the letter came with it and said, wanted to let you know that we felt that the way the hip was done, that it did not meet the quality of duration and durability of the figure. So we're going to send you an extra hip to replace it. If anything goes wrong, you have a replacement hip for the legs and for the waist. And I was blown away because that was the thing that pissed me off to no end with some of the G.I. Joe figures, is that the legs became so loose and wiggly. They looked like they were, doing a little dance back and forth, and it drove me crazy, and they wouldn't stand up. And Nikki was like, because Nikki has a rule. What's your rule, Nikki, about figures? They need a what?
They need to stand up independently on their own. There's no reason why these figures shouldn't. I mean, if they're made for display and they're made for play, it's not like you should be holding up toys. Let's say you have 5 toys. You don't have 5 hands. These
Right.
toys need to be able to stand up on their own on at least a flat surface.
And that was the thing that just drove me crazy, was the fact that that was what was happening with my GI Joe figures, and even some of the Transformers. But when he sent that, I was like, this guy knew there was a possible
Issue.
flaw
Yeah.
and issue in the design of this character's hips, and he wanted to make sure me, a customer, got that extra piece. And here's the thing, that probably cost him a lot of money to do. To every figure that he was shipped out, that's something that he did, and that won me over 100% with Valiverse, and I absolutely love their figures. The figure you see on the screen right now is one of the figures that we ordered because he has a new series coming out called Black. That is like it's still a part of the Valiverse universe. It's just a separate entity, and it deals with pirates. And Nikki and I both love us some friggin' pirates. We
We
have a
do.
pirate Deadpool. We have a pirate Pinkie Pie. We have a pirate Rainbow Dash. We have pirates everywhere to the point we even like, our one of the football teams that we follow, even though we're part of the Carolina Panthers, and I will always be a New York Giants fan. But when we got married, Nikki was like, I want a team that we have, and we both love pirates. And who was the team that we follow also?
The
Football?
Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
I mean, for Pete's sakes, they have a pirate ship in their stadium. I mean, when I found that out, I was like, I'm sold. I'm a Buccaneers fan.
Sold. And so Nikki and I was listening to the podcast, and he had made the announcement that he had this new line coming out. And we're disabled. So we can't really get out and go to shows anymore like we used to, especially with my heart. I can't fly in an airplane anymore because of the pressure change. And so with that, Nikki, this figure was coming out. It was going to, I think it was a Zulu Con or something like that, a ZOLO Con. And I was like, oh, he's debuting this figure. We're never going to get it.
It says ZoloCon right here on the image. Is that the one you're talking about?
Thank you. Yes, ZoloCon. And I was like, oh my God. And then I was getting ready to put my order in. I was getting ready to order some figures for the review. And before I did, someone just told me, hey, go check out Valiverse and see if he's got any new figures up that you don't have, and go ahead and do that. Because he had said that he had some, he's going to put them up online on his website, and you would get them that way. So I've been gang stalking his website for weeks, and it popped up, and I said, Nikki is here. We have to get it. And Nikki was like, say no more. And so she's like, let me move some money around so that we can make sure we get this figure. And this is the figure that we ordered. I can't wait for it to come in. Speaking of that, I probably should check to see when it's coming in. But Valiverse is on that line of being, still kind of independently owned, because it is owned by Bobby Vala, and with that means he is the sole proprietor. So we've talked and we've got over him. Let's go and look at some other independent ones that we have here. So give me just a second. So another company at the same time that we started to look at was this company here, which really blew us away. And it is also an independent toy company. And this is, I'm going to butcher the name. You want to help me with their name?
I think it's Harbinger.
Harbinger?
Yeah. Studios.
All right. Harbinger Studios. Nikki's so much better. And I'm going to pull up all the figures in a minute. But, oh, I lost the image. I am so good at this.
Oh my.
I do so good. Yeah, if y'all don't think that I could mess up a toasted cheese sandwich.
No, he does a good job toasted cheese sandwich.
Now I gotta find the image again.
He's messed up some stir fry before, though. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
He thought he was supposed to boil it in the wok, and so it was filled with water. But all he needed to do was stir it really good. It's okay though. It's what I don't think you never made stir fry. I think you were just trying to
Nope,
help me out. And
I
so
was, and
it was
I
edible.
not really. She's being nice. It was not
Yeah, it
edible.
was edible. It just wasn't stir fry. It was like vegetable soup.
Yeah. So this is some of their figures, and I'm going to pull up them, but they do more like reptiles, barbarian type characters. I love Conan the Barbarian. So another company that we decided to look at was Harbinger Studios. And while tell us a little bit about this, what stood out to you?
The quality of figures. And like you said, you really like Conan. And so we gave some of these figures a chance and we really liked them.
What else did think about? Think about some things that stood out to you.
Details that had a lot of individual little sculpted details that I wouldn't expect for a toy company. They're very, like I said, they were more sculptural than they were just figures. Um, Very artistic. The colors were really nice. I don't know. I mean, they're just really nice. They're fantasy type characters, which I thought would broaden our field of view, like of arranging characters with others. I like that they were the same height as the Valivers, so they're about 6-inch figures. So they
Hmm.
work well with some of our other figures also.
I'm trying to pull up their website. Spell their name.
HARVINGER,
Mm-hmm.
and that's studios.
Because when I lost that page, I lost everything that I had pulled up for them.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm having to go back and try and find uh well that I can't find their studio.
Huh.
I had it all pulled up and I hit that button and I lost it all. So I'm just gonna have to use Big Bad Toy Store. I didn't want to, but I'm gonna have to use the Big Bad Toy Store. So until my thumbnails are better. But one thing I wanted to point out as I pull this up,
Uh-huh.
that stood out to me about this company. We'll be using Big Bad Toy Store. Sorry, guys. Um, the figures were a little, in my eyes, expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep my figures around. Now, GI Joe's going up on their price. Um, Valorverse has stayed at around a $27-$30 figure. You get so much stuff with a $30 figure, and that's usually my sweet spot. That I'm like, that's usually
Mm-hmm.
about as far as I want to spend for a figure is that much. But we did branch out and did buy some of the figures, like this guy right here, that we ordered, um,
Mm-hmm.
Jaeger, which was on their site, it was $10 cheaper than Big Bad Toy Store. That's why I wanted to go to their website,
Mm-hmm.
because their toys are cheaper on their own website. But I wanted this guy so much because I love cats,
Mm-hmm.
and I see this guy, and I told Nick yesterday he reminds me if that was Chomper in human form. I was
Or
like, this would be. It had a human body. This would be Chomper
yeah.
right here. This would be our cat Chomper. I got him in, and he came with a cloth cape. He came with a lot of accessory, and you get a blind bag that has a sword or a different type of sword in it. And I was blown away. Nikki had ordered one of the lizards that had like this plumed head that and his jaw open and closed and
Mm-hmm.
everything, moved. And then they had this type of elbow that and knee that when you bent, you didn't see the joint. It it somehow they have
Encased it. Yeah.
yeah, and it just it looked like it just flowed. I mean, there was like no, it didn't look like gaps. It looked unbelievable, and I was like just blown away by this. And I was like, "You got to be kidding me! This is unbelievable!" And I was like, for $40 to $50, this figure was worth it. The paint on it, it it definitely wasn't made for kids because it had some sharp pieces.
It really did.
And I actually poked myself and actually got cut by one of the pieces, but it was durable to the point where Cringer, our cat, loves playing with my toys. And I get a new one in. Here's Johnny on the spot. He knows when the box opens up and hears any of the rattling of the plastic. Immediately, he's right there. And I was worried that these figures, because of how stiff they were, and they were so like that they would be too fragile. They weren't. One thing that I do with all my toys is I give it the cat treatment. If it can survive my cat's, pawing at it, playing with it, rolling around with it, doing whatever, it's called the Cringer experience. If it can pass the Cringer experience,
Truth.
then it is a good toy, a very good figure. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, got these figures in, and I was just absolutely amazed. I was like, it was so the details and the metal and the rivets. You had every little detail you could imagine in these figures, and I was like, "This is unbelievable." Oh wait, they got this one back available, Nikki.
Oh, that one's cool looking.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's on their site too, because like you said, it's less expensive over there.
yeah. This one right here shows the knee really well. So let me see if I can get. So as you can
Oh, and
see,
one thing you were going to tell me about that you forgot is how it works for Bobby Dalla to have his toys go to other companies. Tell me that one real quick.
so they actually purchase his figures to sell on their site.
Oh,
So
okay.
and so I think he has like a little bit of a difference with Big Bad Toy Store, but I do know it is a part of their inventory. I know that Amazon has his stuff for sale, and sometimes that will be sold directly from his warehouse to you, or from their stock, or another seller already has it and you can order it that way. But usually they already have these units on hand.
Uh-huh.
And prime example, I'll show you this then, because let's go back because I meant to pull this up. Um, let me do this real quick. Yeah, this is the one. Cause like here with Big Bad Toy Store, they have, and they were how I got hold of the Sergeant Slaughter figure that he had. And they have these figures that they have gotten in stock, and then they also have their own like exclusive, like this is the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive figure from Action Force that
Mm-hmm.
he will do. And these guys are here, and um they have these in stock in their own warehouse. Like here is the Vanguard that we talked about that was such a good figure, a good vehicle. It
Yeah.
really was. And so um they have these figures already on hand and vehicles, and so you would buy it and it would be shipped to you by Big Bad Toy Store. I got this right here because I converted my gung ho that I felt like just didn't look like a gung ho till
Mm-hmm.
Malaverse did this, and I bought this and put it on my gung ho G.I. Joe, and it fit perfectly with it. If you're looking to upgrade your gung ho out of your collection to make it look more like the original, here he
Mm-hmm.
is. My dad was a Marine, so I get the Marine figures when get a chance, and gung ho look like my dad. Leatherneck looks a lot more like my dad than the way they did the sculpt this time for classified. But I got this, and put it with my gung ho and was extremely happy. It worked on so many levels. Um, and then Belarus has these figures here that I call like your build a figure. You can
Mm-hmm.
buy the basic. Each figure comes with its own stand. They all come with multiple hands and heads. And for $20, you're getting this whole figure, which is crazy. And then you can actually go and buy the accessories to add to that character, and that's something that I
And he
very much
has, you could buy like a set of like, I forgot if it's 6 or 8 heads.
yes,
And then you can buy a gun pack that has like variety of weapons.
yes. And so, and that's what I love about these here is he has all these accessories with this figure, and it makes it where you feel the love and the quality of the figures are so much better than
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro's.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was still, my wife still gets me Hasbro because she knows how much I love GI Joes.
Their quality has gotten better since Fowler started putting out his G.I.
I'm glad
Joes
you
or
pointed
his
that out.
Action Force.
Yeah, you're share some of that because you're the one that noticed that right off the bat.
Well, he was disappointed in the G.I. Joes. I was disappointed. Sometimes their
That's the weapon.
their legs would be wiggly and they wouldn't stand up properly. It didn't feel like the pieces fit in good enough to like keep where they wouldn't be wobbly and stuff. And so we got several GI Joes that we were just not happy with, and so that's when we found Valaverse, and we noticed in like within 6 months, we were like, Derek was like, I really like this character. It reminds me of my childhood. I want to go ahead and get it. I don't care the quality. I don't know if I'll take it out or not. So we got it in, and then we happened to take it out, and I was like, this was made by Hasbro? It doesn't feel like it's made by Hasbro. It feels like it's an independent company. So they had upped their quality because they probably had seen either um, a lull in their sales, or they went to one of the toy stores and saw the quality of the Action Force and saw how many people were buying those. And it was like, okay, we got to up our game or we're going to be out of this, war toy market,
And with that, I think that this has been good for companies like to make Hasbro and other toy companies go, okay, we've got to do better. We just have to do better on so many levels. Our fans are not going to put up with it anymore. And so, one thing I wanted to point out though, as we're here at Big Bad Toy Store,
Mm-hmm.
is look at that Optimus Prime right there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh wow. Sorry guys, I saw Optimus. Oh, Eternal. Oh man, look at that.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's 46. Oh my gosh. Why is it so much?
I know. It's not that big either.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't.
But that's what we're talking
It,
about is that now other toy company that I thought we would talk about is let me see if I can find it. Now Mecha Toys or NECA Toys. You wouldn't consider them independent company because they're actually in the stores, correct?
it just depends on, I guess, who's making the decisions. If it's a big old company that has like hundreds of administrative people, that just feels not independent. But if it's like a handful of 4 or 5
Because
people
Rob
that are
White,
like
Todd
making
McFarlane, you
decisions,
what about Todd McFarlane? Now he's got his toys and the stuff, but he makes a lot of the decisions on what properties he buys. Would you consider him as an independent, or would you consider McFarlane Toys as one of the big companies?
it also depends on how much they produce also, I think, because if you have enough money to produce enough to put it in like all these big box sales. The other thing is that sometimes you might be an independent company, but you're being distributed by this other company, and that it it just gets kind of confusing. I would still say that uh, he's independent because he's still making a lot of the decisions on his own.
Okay. I love this Leonardo. Leonardo is one of my favorite
That's
turtles.
good.
I love, and this looks just like you did in the comic from Mirage. Yeah, I think I'll be getting this Leonardo. But yeah, this is why I didn't want to come to Big Bad Toy Store. So I was trying to create my own thumbnail so I wouldn't be. Now Nikki got this guy here for me, and she did not pay that price there because it was at Walmart.
No, I did not. Yeah.
Yeah, you got him. You said for $30, 2 figures for $30,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, really? Because everyone else is selling from is 80, and I
I
was
guess I
like,
just happened to find it at the right price at the right time.
yeah. And so this is how I want my turtles to look, is like they did in the comic books. Because I actually have some of the independent original comics that came out of the Ninja Turtles that were magazine size. But one company I was trying to find is like Joe Toys. Like, okay, so McFarlane's got Warhammer now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, well, that was odd. And that's why I wouldn't consider, um, actually looks good. I wouldn't consider him being third, independent, because his stuff is now in on the big the big companies, Walmart, Target, everything. Something that I would love to see Action Force to be a part of. Um, but let's talk about like Joe Toys. You
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't consider them as an independent, right?
I don't have enough information about Joe Toys to make a decision on that.
Well, it's because they do so many different properties. Like they do Warhammer, they do the Turtles. I mean, make really good quality figures, but they are not inexpensive. They're as you can see the prices here on their figures. Um, but they're not in the big stores like Walmart or Target, um, and stuff like that. So when I think of independent toy lines, I'm thinking of ones that are um, only on the web. Like you can only get those figures if you are on the internet, on I
I
think
understand
it,
what you're saying.
and I think that, it's kind of like a lot of these figures, like here, let's take a look at Mystic Legend, which is the Four Horsemen. Now, the Four Horsemen used to design and make the He-Man figures, and then they decided to go on their own and create their own universe. And their figures are also in that price range of the $30 to $50 mark. But look at the quality, and they make their own decisions, and they are the ones that create their own molds. I think if you have the owner really invested in creating the molds and the design of the figures, I think that's what makes it more of an independent. One thing, the reason why Four Horses figures are a little bit more expensive is that they actually use real cloth for a lot
Mm-hmm.
of their figures,
Yeah.
which I really like. And for my barbarian scenes, like I want to create this whole barbarian mystical world. The thing I like about the Four Horsemen is that their figures go across the genre from outer space to uh,
Mm-hmm.
mystical characters to, and I think, and they use real cloth,
Yeah.
um, really detailed. They stand up really well. If you see a picture like this with their figure standing up
It
on one
really will
foot,
do that. Mm-hmm.
it really will do that. It really, they stand up really well. One thing I loved about Valaverse is that he let his figures come with a stand that you can automatically have them to stand up. But I noticed that, for the Four Horsemen, their figures are balanced really well. I don't know how they do it, and I really like this figure. I don't know how they
Mm-hmm.
do it, but their figures are very well balanced. What are y'all doing over there?
Yeah, some kids getting in trouble.
Somebody's eating or tearing up something. What are y'all doing over there?
Do I need to come check?
Do you mind?
I don't mind. Here, let me take my.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll take your screen down for a second. So, sorry about that, guys. So, like this figure here, they are balanced. Now, one thing I do have a complaint sometimes is that their figures are a little bit not articulate. They don't have a lot of articulation. They have 90-degree elbow bends, 90-degree knee bends, some movement in the wrist and in their feet and their head. But overall, no, it's somebody chewing on something over there. It's like plastic. You want to cut that light on? He's not done anything. It's not him. Is Chomper over there? Because it sounded like okay. Because he was hearing it too. He was watching that too. Sorry guys, we have cats and you're trying to figure out what's going on in the house, and I can't get up at the moment. Um Mickey has gone to go check for me. But one thing that I noticed, and you can leave that light on. And one thing I noticed about the Four Horsemen is that the owners, the guys, they're the ones that work at designing, creating. I think when Nikki gets back after playing with the cats, I think I think that a independent company are the ones that actually the owners are invested in the overall everything um of the figures. That they like from the start of the new figures design to the end product. That's how I see independent companies. Um I don't see Joe Toys who you can only get their stuff online. I don't see like I see Valaverse being an independent. Um I see Four Horsemen, Savage Crucible. I'm pulling something up.
Okay, being independent. I agree.
Um but one thing I will say that I noticed about independent uh toy companies is they give you more bang for your buck. You don't get and it's like they know that they have to get you on that very first sale. If they don't get you on that very first sale,
You're
then
not
they
gonna
know
come
they
back.
probably have lost that they've lost you as a customer. And that's why I think like the Full Horseman, I think Super 7, I think Super 7 has overall kind of starting to branch away from being an independent toy company. I think they're in that middle ground where I find McFarlane, where they're
Yeah.
getting their stuff out there in mainstream markets. I think an independent company is the one that's not really on the mainstream. And there's so many toy companies to buy from now, more than there ever was. Um, like this group here um, is a company that I don't know much about. But a lot of people talk about these figures being really, really nice and detailed,
Hmm.
but I don't understand their
I don't have
pricing.
$400 to pay for a figure though.
Yeah. Now, I do understand, like I was watching the podcast and he was explaining why you have to reuse tooling, and And that's why you want to have like a universal hips, universal chest for your characters, universal hands,
Mm-hmm.
so you can reuse those molds and reuse that for other figures in the line. That helps bring down your costs because sculpting, molding, um, create the template of an action figure is very, very expensive. And I see companies like this that I would consider possibly they have to be some type of independent, but yet they have the DC brand. Um, but I don't see this being in the main store. That was the thing I'm saying. They look good, but gosh knows they're expensive. And I don't know how well they're made, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean they look awesome and dynamic. They have that knee joint that I was talking to you about, what we saw with
That was
um
hidden.
yeah, the Savage Crucible does. But I
Mm-hmm.
look at this and I go, well, Savage Crucible gives me this exact same paint, this exact same knee joints, everything's the
Mm-hmm.
same. Why is yours 100 and theirs is only, is like less than half the price there?
Yep.
That's the part that I don't understand. And when it comes to that's where we kind of want to talk about it's like what really makes a independent toy? You
Yeah.
know, if you're an independent toy company and you get licensed for other product from other company, like from DC or from Marvel, are you really an independent company anymore?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Cause like, are you making your own figures or are you being licensed out to make Turtles or Batman or, at that point, that's expensive buying a franchise marketing thing, you know?
Yeah. It's like I'm looking at this Venom here and I'm
Mhm.
not seeing any really it's just basic. And they're charging 200 something dollars for this thing. And I'm like,
It's
I
'cause
don't
they're trying
think
to make their money back from,
buying the license.
yep.
That's just the thing that kind of just blew me away is because I would really like to know what makes an independent company and what makes because for me, I would say like Takara coming out with these figures here. I think this is like the Microman
Mhm.
figures. This is Takara Tomy. They're not independent. They're part of Transformers and they've been around for years. And they're a corporation that makes these figures and stuff like that. And I see this and I go, okay, then how are these other toy companies coming out and being able to have the money to make these figures? Because I don't think these are independent. And then you have Heroic Signatures has got Conan. So we have a
Yeah,
Conan coming out. It looks really good.
it does.
Yeah, but I don't see it being good enough to cost me, $80 to buy.
I
Not
agree.
when I look and I see there's no difference in the articulation that I get from Valorverse or from NECA or from the Four Horsemen. Um, but you want to say something?
No, I agree with what you're saying.
So I just look at it and go, like you have Big Bad Toy Store has their own toys. I would consider them being an independent toy company. Um, they actually have some really good figures that they have that they make. I don't like the fact that their paint possibly has lead in it. That was something that, with me having health issues, I don't want to have a toy that has been painted with possible lead. That's a
Mhm.
big no-no. Um, but here's like a company I've never heard of, but it's a manga company and from Japan that makes these little figures here, and they're more like a plush toy. And then they make some statues, but they're expensive, you know. Um, So I kind of like with Nikki when we were talking about this. I think companies like for me would be companies like Bobby Vala. I would actually consider, you know, Legacy Reimagined. I think they would be considered that line of independent. They get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of licensed product, but they're not a big company. And the designers is like some of the ones that used to work for um, Hasbro, and now they've got the license for Mask, and they've been making these figures. But I don't see them being really mainstream. They pretty much
Mm-hmm.
get these different licenses from the 80s and 90s and make
Mm-hmm.
toys. I find them being kind of still independent because they're not like really big. Um, I was looking to see if I could find the other toy company.
What toy company are you looking for?
The one that did the Animal Kingdom.
Okay. I think it's Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Is it Animal
Look,
Warriors of
look.
the Kingdom? Oh, here we go. Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Thank you. Now, I think these are still an independent company.
Yeah, these are their own characters. They're not. You're not getting them from buying a license to do characters that are already there. These are their characters.
And that's what I think an independent company would really be is the one that focuses on their original characters. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I think is an independent company. They're not going out getting licensed. And by the way, this is the other company that we bought 2 figures from that we really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they get as much love as they should with their figures.
Yeah.
I think that they make really good action figures. I think they are very well made.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to get some more of these figures to do a review on. I actually have their Kickstarter figures because I really like animalistic, and this guy looks awesome. Oh, I might be getting this guy. I might be pre-ordering him. Look at that guy, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
They started off with their figures with their Kickstarter being 4-inch figures, and then they decided to go to 6-inch. I think 6-inch figures are the sweet spot to go with
I think so too.
because it makes it universal for all your characters to move to be in the same world. But I definitely, ooh, I like this fox. But I definitely look at it being an original characters, like Nikki was saying. You're getting original characters. You're not getting already licensed product from other companies. I think when you start doing that, you kind of go away from being a independent toy company. I think and
Yeah.
now I know that Bobby Vala is getting licensed for Call of Duty. And I think
But
it's
that's
like
still not a very big. Uh, but nobody else is doing
toy,
Call of Duty
toy
toys. Am I right?
Call of Duty. No, I don't think anybody's doing Call of Duty toys. But that's a big company. I mean, Call of Duty is a
Yeah.
huge thing in the gaming world. I mean, come on, you know your
Yeah,
husband.
but think about it. It's a game. It's gaming world. It's not necessarily ones that get toys. So he's buying the license to create toys that have never been created.
Yeah, okay. So I kind of look at it from the standpoint that for
Mm-hmm.
me, I think that an independent company is a company that's making their own lore, their own character.
Yeah.
That's what I think an independent company
Okay.
is. I think it's someone that's created because McFarlane, when he started out with his own Spawn toy line. His from the comic book, you got his figures from McFarlane Toys. You got Spawn figures. It was his own universe that he was making his own
Right.
toys. I think when he started getting licensed for the DC and Kiss and hockey teams, branching
Mm-hmm.
out, I think that's when you become more of a corporation toy company.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that in this day and age, we need to have more independent toy companies. I think
I think
that
so
people
too.
like Valorverse, the Four Horsemen, Savage Crucible. I'm probably missing one. Animal Warrior Kingdom. These are the ones that I want to invest my money into
Mm-hmm.
because now I do invest on Super Seven. I am. I don't I typically buy anything. I got there. I'm a big Silverhawks fan, and so I was getting their Silverhawks figures, and they're just not good. They're not really. They're not.
They're not the quality you're expecting for that price point.
Yes, exactly. And so I actually quit buying from Super 7. Now I am getting Super 7 3 3/4 reaction plus line because I love G.I. Joe that much. And seeing those, they look like my old G.I. Joe figures. But I do not take them out of the box. They stay in their cases, and then I buy a clamshell case to put on top of them. And then we have them hanging up on the wall so that
Mm-hmm.
when I go see that, it kind of has that same feeling to going into the toy store and seeing the toys on the wall on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've done in the house with them. And they're just really cool looking.
I think so too.
But I don't consider them an independent toy company because they're
I
not
don't either.
producing their own lore.
Right.
I don't think McFarlane is anymore.
No.
But the companies I wanted to put out there and give a big push to with is Valorverse, the Four Horsemen, Savage Crucible. Now Savage Crucible does have Conan that they've been doing figures for Conan, but again, they actually have their own comic books. I don't know if you know this, but we actually purchased two of their comic books that is for the Savage Crucible.
Oh, okay.
And hey, get out of that. No, 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 no. Oh, he's got the wires. You left the box open with the
I didn't think
wires.
I did.
All right. I'll take you out for a second. Cringer. Oh, I feel so bad I can't get up and do anything. So I feel like you didn't put the lid on. You know him. It's all right. So with that, well, I'm on. I know you want to play with the kitties now. I know. So, with that, I look at it and I go, all right, I think an independent toy company, I sorry we got sidetracked, is something that has to be for their own lore. For Valorverse, you can get his comic books. Um, he doesn't do them as much because he says it costs too much to do that and get that.
Yeah,
Um,
they can be very
I,
expensive.
we publish and do our own books and stuff, so I don't believe that you need to hire an artist that if you're trying to get your story out there, you don't
Mm-hmm.
need to hire someone that works for Marvel and DC because they're going to charge you a arm and a leg for the artwork. We have published over 17 books ourselves, so it's not hard to create your own lore and create your own characters. That's easy. And even write your own stories. I
Mm-hmm.
think that if these independent companies like Animal Kingdom, they have their stories of their stuff online and you can buy it digital. I prefer something physical. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
buy Valorverse's comics when he does have them made and published. I buy the comic books because I want to have that in my hand, the feel, the smell, the real. It's the reason why we did Savage Crucible. I would
Mm-hmm.
love for the Four Horsemen to come out with a story. I don't think you should do independent comics. I
But
honestly
graphic
think that
novels is the way to
I think it's
go.
graphic novel because that's what we did. We didn't do comic books. We did. I would have 100 plus issues of T the Air Adventures um or the comic strip that we do, which is now picking up sticks at office.
Mm-hmm.
Um I wouldn't sit here and because we run our own website,
Mhm.
we publish our own comic books. Um,
Or graphic
we
novels.
yeah, graphic novels. Trying to see here. So just to give you an example what we're talking about. I took Nikki out. I didn't mean to take Nikki out. Let me remove that. Do that. But I think that if you're really wanting to get your stuff out there and you create your own lore, that makes you an independent.
Mhm.
Me and Nikki, we're going to do an overhaul with the website, but me and Nikki are independent, and I do different art styles for Bitter Tea Media. Um, we've been around we're almost at our 20-year anniversary.
Mhm.
Did you know that?
I knew it was close to 20. I don't remember I don't know if we count because we actually had the website before we had a graphic novel published. Because as we were making comic strips, we were putting up online like this. We've had two different names for our websites. And it started out Bitter Tea Studios, and then when I was trying to get the name to go to another place, we were starting to do film too, so that's when it became Bitter Tea Media. Um,
Mm.
I couldn't tell you how many comic strips we had published on that old site.
But
But
you're
I
going to
found a
republish
whole
them on the new site.
right. Yeah, I found a whole bunch of them, so I'm going to be putting them back up on this site too. I like this one. That's one of my favorites right there.
And I'm doing a Bigfoot book right now, which Nikki's been working
Mhm.
on. But
Mhm.
I think an independent company is someone that creates their own lore. I think independent toy company is someone that creates their own lore, their
Mhm.
own product, their own characters. And with that, I think we as the community on YouTube, I think personally, if we're toy reviewers like I am and Nikki is, I think we need to invest in these companies because
Mhm.
Mattel's coming up strong this next year. They're coming out with all guns ablazing. And we'll be talking about that and how that's going to be working for Mattel. But I think that we, Hasbro, created their own lore
Mhm.
and their own properties that became something that was stable in our lives that we still have a connection to. I think we need to have that same connection to independent creators. I'm a huge person about independent creators. I think that independent creators need to have more love than what they get a lot of times. And I think that we need to start as a group, start helping them out, start buying their product, start getting their product. I think
Yep.
that that would be a huge, huge win and way to do so. Um, but that's what my thoughts are on an independent toy
Mhm.
company. It is that they create their own lore, they create their own stuff, and with that's what makes them different and unique. Any final thoughts that you have?
No, I think we pretty much covered independent toys and what we think about it. And um, most independents, if they're doing well, that means their product's really good, especially if they're around past 2 or 3 seasons. Um, they're more into detail than maybe other companies are. So if you're not finding what you're looking for in these big retailers or stuff like that, you're looking for something a little bit more unique, you might need to do some research because there's stuff out there for you.
Yeah, and Nikki and I, we want to do something different with the with our channel, and we decided to have a episode come out every week for the whole year. Every Monday night, you'll get a brand new Loki's that will be coming
Review.
out review. Me putting together because I had my knee was injured, so Nikki bought a whole bunch of Loki's, so I couldn't get off the couch. and I had to sleep on the couch because I couldn't get up. So she bought a whole bunch of Lokis, and you'll get to see it being a
Mm-hmm.
raw review of me just putting together. Camera's not in the greatest shot, but it's just me talking nonsense. But that's what I think independent people are: is you create your own lore, you stick with it, you love it, you're passionate about it, and you want other people to be passionate about it. So do like what Nikki said. Look up a company. They're out there. See which one scratches that itch for you. Because for me, if you can't tell, Valorous scratched that G.I. Joe itch for me. I would love for him to have more figures coming out quicker, but I understand as an independent,
But to
you
be
have
able to
to
pay
have.
attention to detail, it's going to take some time. And besides, we're really excited about his new The Black, which is like pirates, and I'm
Yes.
assuming he's going to have a pirate ship, which I'm really excited about. That'll probably
Yeah,
take a little bit though, but
it will. And he's got some other things like little boats and little skip stuff like that. So I'm really excited about it. My uncle was in the Navy. I that's where I would have gone if I hadn't got cancer. I would have gone to either the Navy or the Marines. But there you have it, guys. That's what our thought is. That's what we're doing. And I think if you want to and you want to get your lore out there, it's not hard to have it up on your website and put up a small little story blurb, and just have an artist, someone that's wanting to get started, someone that's wanting to get their name out there. They're out there. A friend of ours, which is Will, is a
mm-hmm.
beautiful artist. He went to
Yes,
Joe Kubert School of the Arts.
Joe Kubert.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's a better artist than I am. He blows me away. I'm amazed at his line work.
I
He-
like both of y'all's for equally different reasons. I don't think his is better. I don't think yours is better, but I think y'all have it's a style thing. I think y'all both work really hard on your artwork. So I wouldn't say his is better. I wouldn't say yours is either. Don't put yourself down, sweetie. You have really nice artwork. Look at the stuff in front of us right here. That's really nice.
so, but yeah, but like people like him's looking to get out there and get their name. One thing that we did with our company early on is that no one gave me a chance to be an artist. And one thing that we do is if there's a new guy that's or girl that's coming out, we usually pay them to do the cover of our books a lot of times. And some of them have gone on to work for Marvel or DC, which we're very proud about. Um, so they're out there. It's easy. It's not as hard as people make it out to be to get your books out there, to get your lore out there. But it is hard to do that with a toy. And I think that these companies really should focus on their toys, but also pushing their lore. Get that lore out there in some way. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be as small as what I do right here. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture, huge thing. Small is good for independent, and then run with it. But with that, I think that's the end of our show. That's the end of our thoughts. Anything you want to share before we leave?
I don't think so. There are going to
Please
be
check.
some more comic strips coming up soon. I can't schedule them on my phone anymore, so I'm gonna have to go on my computer so that I can schedule them. Our goal is to have them out on Wednesdays, but they've been coming on Sundays because that's when I like to work on them. So
Sunday says we're going to change it, and I'm going to go back to our Cyclops characters too. So Sunday is going to be the new day that the comic strips come out, because Nikki does better on Sundays than Wednesdays.
I have an easier time remember when Sundays are.
Yeah, so our comic strips will be coming out every Sunday. And as you can see right here, we have already a lot of characters that we do. And I'm going to get back to my Cyclops characters because that's the ones that Nikki really likes
I
me to
really
do.
like them. Mm-hmm.
So I want to go back to that. Our comic strip now is Picking Up Sticks at Office. And it's Derek and Nikki Davis, copyright 2025. Check out our website, check out our books on Amazon. And with that, that's it. We'll end us. plugging ourselves shamefully. My shit, people. Not big. With that, we will catch y'all later. Talk to you later. And have a good one. Bye, guys.
All right.